Hey, hey, welcome into First Take exclusively on YouTube. I'm Molly Karam, that is Stephen A. Smith, and that's Christopher Mad Dog Russo. Gentlemen, shall we?
Let's do it.
Yes.
The Cavs got off to a roaring start this season, ripping off 15 straight wins before dropping one to the defending champion Celtics. Their 15-game win streak is tied for the second best start in NBA history and got some people jumping on that Cleveland bandwagon. Kendrick Perkins may be one of their biggest supporters. But Perk, where you at?
When it comes down to them being a legit title contender, they check all boxes. There's no team in the league outside of the Boston Celtics that could beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. And I'm talking about in the Western Conference as well.
All right. To be fair to my guy, Big Perk, great jacket there, Perk, that was said prior to their game last night against the Celtics. So I want to make that clear. Stephen A., where do the Cavs rank in the NBA?
Well, they're one of the top. I think right now they're one of the top 5 teams in the league in terms of guys that are positioning themselves for a championship run. I think when you see the star that is Donovan Mitchell, who's proven that he is the star in the league, and then you see Atkinson, you start fantasizing about what would the Brooklyn Nets have been with Kyrie and KD were there with Kenny Atkinson coaching instead of them pushing him out the door so they could get the inexperienced, never having coached in his life, Steve Nash. So that has you asking questions about Kenny Atkinson because of the job that he's doing with them. He's got them playing defense, obviously. Offensively, they've been better. He's taken the ball, doggy, and put it into Eric Mobley's hands. We see this guy right here, Mobley, and what he's doing. He's 6'11". He's averaging about 18 a game now, more than he's ever averaged in his career. He's shooting close to 13 shots a game. He's improved his three-point shooting over the last 2 years and both above 37%. So with the ball in his hands, that's taken some of the pressure off of Garland, off of Donovan Mitchell, their starting backcourt, who, by the way, is averaging 46 points a game between them. I can't say enough about what we're seeing from Cleveland. They've got size, they've got youth, they've got athleticism, they have perimeter shooting, they play defense, and they're disciplined, and they're accustomed to playing together. So they can't be ignored. I don't put them above the Boston Celtics because Porzingis, once he gets back, elevates Boston to a different dimension. But what I'm seeing from the Knicks, what I'm seeing from the Philadelphia 76ers, what I'm seeing from the Milwaukee Bucks, clearly Cleveland is one of the top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference and probably one of the top 5 teams in the league right now.
Yeah, listen, he's played his bench. They got 5 guys coming off that bench playing lots of minutes. They score. I'm not ready to sit there and adorn Cleveland as one of the best teams in the NBA. I still think in a best of 7 series, the Knicks would beat them. It wasn't too long ago they had to work their rear ends off to beat Orlando in a 7-game series. They won Game 7 at home. They were lucky to win that. And I know they had some injuries with Allen and Mitchell. They did lose to Boston in a very quiet 5 games last year. So I am not ready to propel them to a scenario where, wow, look at the Cavs that can win an NBA championship. Now, Steve makes a good point. Milwaukee's bad. Philly's bad. Indiana hasn't played well. The Knicks are 6-6. Is that what they are?
8-6.
8-6.
Yes.
I mean, so from that standpoint, the East
is really surprising.
It's been bad.
So far.
So, I mean, maybe they can be the 3rd team. I still think at the end of the day, the Knicks would beat them in a best of 7 series. And the West is much better because you got a lot of good teams in the West. Denver's going to be good eventually. Obviously, Oklahoma City's good. Minnesota's, bringing in Randall, going to take a little time. So I am not ready to sit there and say that they're a legitimate championship threat. I think they're dangerous. I think you can make an argument to the 3rd best team in the East, but I'm not ready to say they're an NBA title contender. That's me.
All right, Mad Dog, you want to talk a little baseball?
Yeah,
I have something
let's
for
go.
you. The MLB offseason well underway. The hottest free agent market is already being courted. Juan Soto, whose deal is expected to exceed $600 million, has met with several teams over the past week, including his former squad. The Yankees hope they can bring the young slugger back to the Bronx. After reaching the World Series for the first time since '09, they'll have to stand out among a long list of suitors that now includes the Mets, the Dodgers, and the Phillies. Mad Dog, would it be a failure if the Yankees cannot re-sign Soto?
Have to have him. Now, listen, he's going to go for the most money.
Yeah.
So the idea that Soto is going to give the Yankees a break because it's the
hometown
Yankees,
discount, yeah.
not going to happen. So 99% of this is most money. So if the Mets offer $20 million more than the Yankees offer, he's going to the Mets. And that's Steve Cohen, who's got more money than God. Phillies are dangerous because that owner spends a lot of money. The Red Sox are in play. And the Red Sox went out to California with their ownership, and they made a big play here. And the Red Sox can't afford to make a move for Soto and then not get him because of money, because they're going to get killed by the Boston fan base. That's a big town in Boston. That's a big baseball town, and they haven't spent a lot of money lately. But I would still make the Yankees, at this moment, because they can't afford to lose him. Steinbrenner would never live it down. I still think the Yankees are the favorite, but it's going to be about money. This is not going to be Joe DiMaggio, Judge, the bleacher creatures. The Yankees are going to have to pay more than everybody else, and I think at the end of the day, Steve, they might just do that. So I'll say Yankees.
I'm scared because I'm a Yankee fan. Let me tell you what my fear is. That you're wrong. That it's not going to come down to money because everybody's going to offer the money. It's going to come down to him looking at somebody like Aaron Judge, who smacked 58 home runs, had 144 RBIs, if I remember correctly. And he's going to look at how that brother played in the postseason. This wasn't the first time
he was bad.
Aaron Judge has played badly in the postseason. And so looking at that and watching a team like the Chargers, who have the money because Ohtani deferred most of his dollars. The Dodgers have enough money to go after him, to watch him potentially join Mookie Betts, Ohtani, and the rest of the crew, seeing the heart that they have, how well they played, what they bring to the table, and then let's also remember the international appeal that they have because of Ohtani, okay, and others. I'm just of the mindset that him looking at the Yankees, he's probably going like this. We ain't going to beat them.
But Stephen A., they just won it. So it's kind of similar when it was like the Kevin Durant kind of thing.
Well, you can say that,
with
but
the Dodgers, like, don't
baseball
you think that
is
would
different.
look weak
Baseball is different. You know why? Because baseball, it's okay to be a mercenary. But Scott Boras permeated over the sport for years, and baseball players, it being individualized more so than anything. You know, it's like, wait a minute. You on your own, your team could stink, but you smacking home runs out of the ballpark. Kevin Durant drastically shifted the balance of power in the entire NBA. When you look at Soto, he's on like this. As a baseball player, it's my individual exploits, yes. But I don't want to sit up there looking on the outside looking in. Is anybody going to beat them? Is anybody going to beat these kind of teams? Look at what the Yankees have.
Would that bother you if he just joined the Dodgers after they just won it?
It would bother me that the Dodgers, who spent $1 billion on Yamamoto and Ohtani, won and then spent another $1 billion on Soto. So I would be more bothered by the Dodgers than I would by Soto taking them.
I totally understand that. I totally understand. I'm just of the mind. This is the biggest point.
All right, then we got to go.
I'm looking at him with Aaron Judge. And if I believe my star shrinks when the bright lights come on.
So he's not going to sign the Yankees because he doesn't think Judge is good enough.
He'll never say it. But you and I both know. And remember, if this happens once, that's different.
I understand.
But several postseasons, Aaron Judge hasn't been what he was supposed to be.
That's a strong statement.
Real quick, where do you
hope
think
I'm
he's
wrong
going to sign?
because I love Aaron Judge.
Where do you think he's going to sign?
I'm going to say Yankees, but it's only because of my emotions.
Okay. Thanks for watching First Take exclusively on YouTube. Make sure you tune in weekdays to First Take on ESPN, 10 a.m. Eastern. We will see you tomorrow. Mad Dog, you're the best.
You got it.
See you next week. Bye, guys.